Hi, you guys. It's Lady D here. And if you are new here, welcome to my channel. If you are already a subscriber, welcome back to my channel. Um, it's a blessing to have all of you who are watching who may run across this video. And just going to jump right into it. Today, we're going to be talking about change and identifying and recognizing the ways that God may be calling you for change in your life. Sometimes we could just put it down to growth. Sometimes we could put it down to just um, outgrowing some things and just maturing. But really, is God calling you for change? So we're just going to dive right into that. I'm going to begin to reflect back on how God has called me to change in my life in the areas that He's still changing my life. So we're going to get right into that, and then we're going to begin to identify where God may be calling you to change. Okay, so for me, I would say God, when He first started to just try to change my life, it was back when 2018 when I first, like, everything just went downhill for me. Um, I was in a situation that I'm not going to touch on, but it was where, I can look back now and know that it was God. Now that I've overcame those things, I look back. I went from having everything, living comfortably, having a fully furnished house, a nice place of my own, to working a full-time job, a factory job, to leaving a job, basically not putting my faith in God, but putting my faith in men, one man. And so I made a decision back then to leave my job. I was there like 2 years, 2.5 years, and I left my job to pursue beauty school. Those of you may know that I'm into hair. I do hair mostly in my free time. I left my job to pursue beauty school, and I was only there for like 3 months, and I dropped out because everything just like turned completely. Like, nothing was in my favor at that moment. Like, I felt like I was losing hope. Basically, it was based off me putting my trust in someone that I thought loved me. And as soon as I tried to better myself, it was like that exact person wasn't there for, the same very person I trusted to have my back in that moment pretty much failed me. So I had to leave beauty school, and I eventually lost my place because I didn't have a job. From losing my place, I sold everything that I owned inside of my house, and I began to live with someone, which was his mother. You know what? I'm not even gonna put that in there. I began to live with someone, and basically from there, I lost everything. I went from living comfortably to having a full-time job, having a nice place, fully furnished, to living with someone, not having nothing to my name but a car, not a job, nothing. So everything began from there for me to hit rock bottom. And I knew God was putting me in that position. I didn't know at the time, but I know now. He put me in that position. He allowed me to go through those things and to break me down completely. Like, I was at my lowest. He broke me down to get my attention. I didn't recognize it then, but I do now, because I know God. I know how He works. I know His character. So He couldn't get my attention naturally. So God stripped me away from everything that I knew. He stripped me away from love. He has stripped me away from, you know, just living comfortably. Like, he took me out of my comfort zone completely. So it was like I was just in a place, a low place. Like, I was blaming people for why I was there. I was just bitter. I was angry on the inside. I was depressed. I was just low. And then I went from there to living with someone to eventually moving out. And I went from there to living in my car. Like, that's all I had to my name. I had a car, and thank God I had my car, because if it wasn't for my car, me dealing with my pride, I didn't want to go live with no one else. I didn't want to go to my mom's house, even though I knew that was always an option for me. This is just me reflecting on what I've been through. Not to just degrade nobody, to down nobody, because I come from like a place of love now. I don't have nothing against nobody, no hard feelings. Like, I love everybody. But this is just reflecting on what I've been through and pretty much telling you guys my story. And I went from there to living in my car. I lived in my car for about 2 to 3 months. And at this season, it was like starting to be winter time. I would park at Walmart that was open 24 hours. And I would sleep in the back seat. I would lay my pillows out. And at that moment, like, I was like, it was just me and God. Like, I was vulnerable in that moment. And I feel like that's exactly where God needed me to be. And I felt like it was just me and God. You know, I began to build a relationship with him then. And it got to where it was so cold outside, like, I couldn't do it no more. I remember waking up one morning and, like, my chest was, like, stiff from me, I guess, inhaling and sleeping inside of my car from the cold air. And I remember feeling like I was sick. I remember feeling like, Lord, I hope I don't have pneumonia. Like, so, like, my pride, I had to set it to the side. And I remember reaching out to my sister, my oldest sister, Crystal. And I was like, you know, I told her my situation. And she was like, you know, you can come here. You can always come here. And I was just like, you know, I had to think, and I had to put my pride to the side and let someone help me in that moment. And, like, I remember reflecting over everything, like, God, you know, I know I'm a good person. What did I do wrong, like, for me to be in this situation, you know? But I come to realize that God will literally strip you from everything that you're comfortable with, everything you feel like you need, and everything that you know of. God will strip you from that to get your attention. God put me in that position to wake me up, to, you know, draw me in closer unto him. Like, if he couldn't do it naturally and, you know, by my will, like, if he couldn't do it, he had to do it, you know, basically to the point that would hurt me. And that wasn't really his intentions, but that was his way of, you know, him getting the glory and him getting my attention fully. So I did that, and I went from there out of my car, and I stayed with my sister for like 6 months. And I knew God was calling me to, like, break away from the situation that I was in. The very thing he broke me away from, it's like, okay, I'm going to be 100% transparent. Like, I didn't want to do this because I don't want it to feel like that I'm trying to bash somebody or put somebody out on the front street. I'm not going to say names, but it was the situation I was in, a relationship that I completely trusted, and everything just went left, you know. It was one of the situations. It was like, look, go to hair school and, you know, go get your license, and I'm going to hold it down. You don't have to work. I'm going to make sure the bills are paid. You know, I got your back, pretty much. And you dealing with a person for years, you would think that that person would really have your back. And me, like I said, I put trust in men and not God. You know, I didn't step out on faith and go to beauty school because I knew God was going to, you know, take care of, you know, my needs and provide. Keep in mind, like, I wasn't connected with God then. You know, of course, he's always there for me, but I wasn't connected with God the way that I am now. So he allowed me to do that, and I fell short and lost everything that I knew. slept in my car. Like I was homeless, even though I felt like I had options, but my pride was in the way to even knock on my mother's door and be like, I need a place to stay. Can you take me in? You know, I knew she would let me in, but it's like I was at a point to where I was grown and I felt like I needed to fix it. Like you can't keep running from, you know, your problems and what you're going through. Like I felt like God had a purpose in that moment. Like I needed to go through that. I needed to sit in that hurt. I needed to sit in that pain and all of those things. So that's exactly what I did. And from there, I remember going to church with my friend. Like it was a rough patch for me. Like I really was low. Like I felt like no one was there for me. And we began to go to church, and the pastor remember preaching. It was like you have to let go of basically things that are no good for you, for God to begin to bless you with what you deserve and things that are for you. He was basically saying like, the longer you hold on to something that God is trying to tear apart and break apart, that the longer you will hurt, like the more you will hurt. And basically, the more you hold on to what God is trying to tear apart, in that's basically the more the more you try to hold on to what God is trying to tear apart, He will eventually hurt you, in the process, because this is His will. So if you holding on to something that He doesn't want you to hold on to, He will hurt you to the point to where you have no other choice but to let go. That's basically what I'm trying to say this whole time. So God allowed me to go through that hurt because He needed me to strip away from it. I was being, disobedient and not realizing. And then right after I made up my mind, and keep in mind, like right after I lost everything, this guy that I was with, he went to prison again. And it was almost as if God was like, this is your time to strip away. This is your time to get away from that completely. Do not go back. And I remember when I was still staying with my sister when he got out of prison. And we met back up, but it wasn't like we was just that intimate, but it was to the point to where, because I remember telling him before he got out, like, it's not going to be like that this time. I can't be there for you when you expect me to. God allowed this to happen for me to see who you really are, that you really wasn't for me, but I still love you. I still am there, like, for you if you need somebody to talk to, if you need to call me, that's just where it was. So I went from there, like, him getting out of prison, we met back up, and I kind of felt myself drifting back into that, because from there, I went back to his mom's house with him. We was like, it probably was like a month or two, and then again, I started to see the same activities. Keep in mind, we weren't together. We wasn't in a relationship this time around. We wasn't planning on, being together. But it was just, we reconnected. And I remember, I'm like, God, I know that it was just a different feeling. And I remember fighting with him over his phone, things that I didn't deserve. Like, it was just a repeating cycle. And then I remember just a lot of things just took place. And from there, like, I made up my mind. I was like, I can't do this. And then I was still at a rough patch because I didn't have my own place. But I remember everything starting to fall into place. I wrecked my car, and I was able to get that fixed. They put a new motor in my car. And from there, I ended up getting a job. And then from there, I got an apartment. And keep in mind, like, I knew in my mind that I wanted a clean slate. Like, I wanted to start over. So me and him did not move in together. And I made up my mind from there, no more. Like, I couldn't keep putting myself back to that same hurt. Wanting to give him chances, wanting to see him really be there for me, wanting to see him change, and finally see that I was this woman that, for him. And it wasn't that. God was like, no, like, He is not for you. He is not for you. Like, let those years go, that history go. It's like God was really speaking to me. So I made a decision to not move in together. Like, I got my own apartment. And then from there, everything just started to fall into place. I remember once getting my car fixed. Right after that, got a job, a place, and then my car started acting the fool again. Like I started to have problems with my car again, and right then I went from there um, to go to this dealership that I went to before, and they denied me because of my credit. So I went there to see how much it would cost to get my car fixed. It was the guy there, and he was like a sales rep, and he was just like, how about you, have you considered trading it in? And and I'm thinking like, no, because I tried before, and they denied me. My credit's not good. Da, 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 da. So keep in mind, I really needed my car fixed because it was like going down bad. Like I didn't have a ride to work. Like it was crazy. So God stepped in. Long story short, God stepped in that moment as well, y'all. Like the people approved me for the car that I wanted off the lot. I still have this car to this day, and this was back in 2018, and then I was able to purchase a 2017 then. And so the car was only a year old, and I was so happy. Like God was really showing up and showing out in my life, and I recognized, I'm like, God, this is like your intentions. Like you wanted to strip me away from what I was comfortable with, God, so you can show me. Sometimes you can be wrapped in somebody that will delay your blessings, and that's just the honest truth. That doesn't mean the person is bad. That doesn't mean the person is not worthy. That just means the person isn't for you, and God is trying to show you those things. And yeah, so I have a lot that I could talk about with this topic, from how God has shown me and brought me, far from that situation. But we're just talking about how God is calling me for change, and it was just so crazy. And then I went from there to like now, like I know, like even when I would go out, like I don't know when the last time I've been out, but when I did, the last time, I always remember feeling like, what am I doing here? And keep in mind, I'm only 28 years old, so I'm still considered young. But I went out, and I was just like, I felt so uncomfortable. Like nothing's changed. My appearance hasn't changed. Like at this moment, it was just like something was over me. Like I felt so out of place. Like I was looking around, like, what am I doing here? And like, something just was like, this is not you. Why are you here? Like, and I remember like telling my friend, and also my friend felt the same way. So it was like we went from going out all the time. Every time somebody would have something, event or like something that was popping, we was there. Y'all, when I say we was there on the scene, like I went from wanting to be on the scene all the time, wanting to be seen, wanting attention from, not just men, but just to be seen. Like I used to love to dress up and, put my heels on, my makeup, do my hair. And, I just wanted to always be on the scene of every time they had an event or party. Like that was me and my friend. Like we was there. Like we was there. And it went from that to like, what are we doing here? Like, nah, I'm gonna stay at home next time. Like, it was so crazy. And then I know it's nobody but God, because like, how can I just, like, I get when a person can run out and be drained from like clubbing and being around the same people, the same environment, but it was just one of those feelings like, no, this is not for you no more. Find you something else to do. Like it was just one of those things. And yeah, so we began to just stay away from that and do other things like drink wine, maybe go to a bar, go to out to eat. It was things of that nature that we started to do. And I knew God was changing us like then, like, because like we used to just stay out, baby. We was always outside. Now it's like I find comfort inside, and I want to be less away from the scene. Like I don't want to be like I don't crave attention the way I used to back then. Like, I'm still a woman. I still like to be beautiful. I still like to do my hair, makeup from time to time, dress up to make myself feel, presentable and nice. But it's not in a way that I want attention from people and men. I like now I crave attention from God. Like that's my main priority. I don't like it's just something that's changed in me. Like I used to be one of those like post the picture every time I get dressed and feel cute. Not knocking nobody because I was there. That just what made me feel beautiful. And I felt like I was seeking validation from people. And I wasn't seeking validation from God. So God stripped me from that as well. Like he stripped me from those things. Like, and then when you start to feel like I'm young, but why am I always feeling like I'm like outdoing myself all the time, or everything becomes like y'all know what I'm trying to say? Like stuff is starting to feel like I'm growing out of stuff too fast. Like I don't want to get to where I'm old and everything. I have no interest in nothing no more. I don't want to continue to grow and then be like, no, nothing interests me no more. Like I don't want to like outgrow everything too soon. But when you start to feel like that, that's when God is calling you for change. Like he is trying to introduce you to a new purpose. Like he's trying to get you to tap into your purpose, your true identity in his eyes. Like God is really calling us for change. And like if we are not careful, like we will overlook those things, we will fight it, we will keep doing the things that we're used to, we will and then another thing was me isolating myself, not wanting to be around people that was too loud and just popping. Like it was like I was isolated. I wanted to like be myself. Like I always wanted to be myself. I never wanted to just be like other people. Like I never was that type of person, but just like not needing a crowd of people for nothing. Like it was just me. Like I found this boldness in my own identity to where like I don't need a crowd of people to know that I'm great or beautiful or popping. I don't need the attention from that. It was just like it's like God dipped me, like whoop, dipped me in change. And it was like not overnight, but I recognized those things looking back. And like I no longer like really have those fleshly desires the way that I used to. And God is still working on me with those things too. And I just want to say that there's some things that are completely fine when you're trying to walk with Christ. Like, for instance, just being a woman. Women love to be beautiful. Like, we love hair. We love to do our hair. We love to do our makeup. Get our, critters done from time to time. Things of that nature is just, like, for women. Even though they didn't come with us into this world, like we have our own nails, we have our own hair, but it's okay if you, do those things, just don't make it like an idol, like this is something you look up to, this is something you have to have. Like, no, just like, do those things, keep God first, no matter what it is that you do. And but yeah, those are some things that you can identify when God is calling you. When you no longer feel comfortable in the room that you used to go in, around the people you used to be around, it's okay to isolate yourself. It's okay to tap into who God is calling you to be. Don't be ashamed when people gonna look at you like that ain't even her. Like, no, you just know the old me. It's okay if you don't know the new me. It's okay, because like I'm not here to prove anything to you. Like I'm not here to seek validation from you. Like God is who that's the only person that I need. So he has called me to have a new identity. This is the way I'm going to walk. It's okay if people don't agree with who you're becoming. So you just have to keep that in mind and just keep pressing forward. Be obedient to God. If God is calling you to do new things and trying to introduce you to a new life, a new beginning, or new surroundings, that's what you need to do. Like, go for it. Don't allow people to hold you back. Don't allow your friends, your old friends. And if that's another thing, if people are not fit with the new lifestyle, when people are no longer fit in the new lifestyle that God has for you and is creating in your life, it's okay to outgrow those people. it's okay, you know, love them from a distance, love them, still check on them, still, you know, call them. But as far as just having conversation that's just out of the ordinary, that's old, like, girl, such and such, baby, we on to new. We on to new. I love y'all, but no, I don't no longer want to go out and pop nothing. Okay? Like, I like feel comfortable inside my home because I know this is where God abides. Like, this is like, y'all, I love to be in my prayer closet. This is like the moments, like, I crave stuff like that now. Like, if it's not godly, like, I will like, instantly just, refocus my mind or reevaluate, like, okay, what would Jesus do? Like, I'm trying to be better, like, and I need people that's around me that loves me to respect that too. Like, even, okay, y'all, let me just get into this. I'm the type of person that used to love R&B, rap. Like, I was always on top of my music. Every time something popping came out, honey, you best believe iTunes, here I come. Like, I was always, like, I never wanted to be behind on music, so I would, like, search new music and be like, okay, I like this, so I can bump in my ride and, hit a couple blocks. That used to be me. And I just had a preference, like, to change my music. Like, I had a total, like, I remember, like, starting to just, listen to my gospel, like, turning the gospel up. Like, that's just, it fills me with so much joy. Like, it gets rid of my anxiety. Like, it's just so, it's a difference, y'all. When I used to play my gospel music, like, I felt more at peace. Like, my mind was, like, not pulling me here, pulling me there. Like, it was just like, that's just how I felt. Versus the rap and R&B, now your heart rate up, you gotta calm down. No, but for real, like, that's another change that I noticed, and it wasn't nothing like, that I felt like I was forced to do. It was something that I know that I wanted to do. Like, it was just something about the way the music made me feel, So now, like, I don't even go, like, I still have music in my phone, like rap and R&B, but it's not like my portion. Like, I don't even think to go to that playlist. Like, I go straight to my gospel playlist now, and it went from, me jumping back and forth for a while, and then now I'm completely, like, I search new gospel music the way I used to do R&B and rap. Like, I be on top of it, like, oh, I want to, which new artist is out, like, that I can listen to, that I can, really enjoy listening to, up and down the road. And that's just me. That's another change that I knew God was calling me to change, and like a lot of stuff that's around me. Like, I try to now watch what I wear, usually, you can catch me in a mini skirt, crop top, and, my cleavage. And nothing is wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. I'm just talking to y'all about, what I feel like God has called me to change. And, I started to just think about, like, no, you can't wear that. If you're trying to change your life, you have to look the part. Like, you got to change. You got to feel it. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be like, okay. And, y'all, this is, like, has nothing to do with religious background, nothing like that. This is just strictly me knowing God for self and just doing what I feel is necessary for me, to not want to flirt around with my old ways. And and I'm content with what I'm doing. And like, I no longer want to flirt with my old ways. I no longer want to, how you could just, I always think about, like, dang, I used to be popping. I used to be love. Like, I used to be light. Like, you think about all that when you look back, but you really have to, like, steadfast. Like, you have to stand in your true identity. Know that this is what God has intended. Before you was formed into your mother's womb, God already knew that this would take place in your life. So you have to own it with everything in you. Keep pushing, keep fighting. Fight off temptation if you have to, and just tell the devil no. That was the old me. Like, do you like me now? Or what? Because if you don't like me now, then what? I don't need you that way. No, I'm playing. But for real, like, some people is not gonna recognize you for, the change that's coming in your life. It's okay. It's okay to shed people, y'all. It's okay to outgrow people, y'all. It's okay to love them still. Like, I love everybody. People that did me wrong. People that, is trying to get over. People that's, that see me as an advantage, I keep pushing. Like, I love all y'all. I love my enemies, like y'all. The people that I used to beef with back then, I promise y'all, I will walk up into now and hug them. That's how I know God is changing me. He is purifying my heart. And that's the main thing for me, like, in prayer. Like, God, just purify me. Purify my heart. Make me new. Like, just cleanse me from the inside out. God, you know my heart. They might not see, they don't know my heart. They don't see what you've done in me, God. They don't understand, my prayer life. Like, they don't see those things. They just see what they see. But Father, like, just cleanse me, purify my heart, purify my mind, my thoughts, and just cleanse me, strip me away from everything, temptation, old ways. Like, just make me better, and that's my main priority, is like staying connected with God over everything, even over my finances, y'all. I feel like I don't play by my paper, like my money. I don't play by my money. Like, but I would rather put God. I would sit in this house and not do nothing as long as I can have Jesus. Like, that's my portion. Amen. Jesus is my portion, y'all. I love him so much. Like, God has brought me so far. Like, he worked on me from the inside out. And this is something that, like, I just really feel like God is my portion. And he's also your portion. Like, just tap into him, y'all. Talk to him. Even when you feel like you don't have nothing to say. Like, just, if it's just worry or fear or anything that you're dealing with, take it and lay it at his feet. Talk to God. Because one thing God is not going to do is like, oh, child, you don't even know how to pray. Like, I'm not listening to you. Like, that's not what he going to do. Y'all, God is always listening, y'all. He has the perfect season and time for him to restore some things in your life, to change. He's always listening to your prayers. It may not happen when you want it to happen, but God is always on time. And I promise you that. Trust his process, y'all. Trust him. Have faith. Keep pushing. Because God, he always provides. But yes, y'all, just stay encouraged, y'all. Just keep pushing, y'all. Keep pushing for better. Each day you wake up, when you just recognize that you got breath in your nostrils, honey, give God thanks, give God praise. Because if you having a rough patch in your life, if you can't thank God for nothing else, thank God for the fact that you are alive. Because the fact that you are alive, God is telling you, I still have purpose connected to your life. God is still waiting for that moment for you to tap in, connect, come talk to me, come see me. That's another beautiful thing that I love about a prayer closet. My prayer closet, like, when I've had a long day, when I've had, anything that, was challenging in my life throughout the day, like, I would just take it to God. And I'm like, God, just meet me where I am. Like, I'm frustrated. You got to invite God into where you are. Like, and, you got to be able to position yourself to hear from God. Like, you always, you always just have to just, like, set the stage. Like, God, I'm right here. Like, meet me where I am. Like, if I can be honest, I'm frustrated. If I can be honest, like, I wanted to snap on this lady in traffic today. Like, I wanted to lose my mind. But God always humbles you. Like, he always pulls you back in and reintroduce you to love, true love. Like, y'all, I've never been loved like this ever. Like, even when everything could be stripped away from me now, God, take everything from me again. Like, strip me away. I will be happy. because I've found true love. Like, I will be happy. Like, God, I know. Like, I didn't know back then that was for your good. Like, that was for my good, your purpose. Like, I know now that anything that's taking place in my life, God, I know that you have a plan. You have plans to prosper me and not to harm me, Father. So, like, I walk and I just meditate on that, because, like, anything, like, I could be having a bad day. Father, I know that you might be allowing me to have this bad day to fix my attitude in the long run, help me to, talk to people and just, be able to accept the way people treat me, so that I can be better. Yeah, I just like, my mind is like set on positive. Like, I can turn something so negative into positivity, because I know, like, God, I know you're allowing this to happen to me. I know what you're doing. Yeah. So, like, I walk every day, like, just walking by faith, like unseen faith with my eyes closed. Like, if I don't even know where I'm going, but I know you gonna protect me, you gonna guide me, you gonna order my steps, you gonna just, But yeah, I think this video is long enough. And if I know I got the rambling, I didn't take notes, like, I'm just here speaking. But those are ways that God is calling you for change. Walk in your true identity. Be confident. Ask God for him to, place a boldness in your life, that you're no longer afraid of what people are going to think of you if you do this, if you change. Think of ways that you can do to impress him. God, I know, if I do this, you're going to be proud. Like, if I'm walking in obedience, like, God, I know that you're proud. Like, I don't no longer want to just put you off to the side anymore because of what people may think, and what, they may judge me. They might, be like, she doing too much. Like, no, honey, this is my portion. But I love you guys so much. I'm going to call this video short. If you would like this video, comment down below any thoughts, anything that you, any challenges you have had that God may be calling you for change. Put that below in the comments, and just, also you can, like, put your request down if you want me to talk about something else, or if you feel like you have a question on some things that you may need answers to. Anything that, if I could help, that I will. Y'all just be safe, stay blessed out there, and don't forget to put God first, and to just pray. Don't forget to pray. Whatever you do, pray. When you feel like you don't have nothing to say, pray. Sit in God's presence and just meditate on him. You don't even have to say nothing, because God already knows what you're thinking. He already knows. God doesn't, look at any of this. Like, he's focused on this, your heart. Like, God is, like, focusing on the hearts. That's all that matters to him. And when you begin to think like that, God is know that you're making an effort to, connect with him, to build a relationship with him. When you just have to sit in the quiet room and like, God, I'm here. Come meet me where I am. Like, that's you inviting him in. Eventually it's going to get better. You're going to begin to, you're going to know what to say. You're going to know how to speak in proceeding to your prayer life. So I thank you guys for joining me today. You guys have a blessed day, a blessed rest of the week. And I will be next, let me see. I'll be back probably next week. I don't know what day, but I will be back. And you guys stay blessed, stay encouraged, and put God first always. Until next time, Lady D signing out.